Central Wisconsin County is taking a stand against racism. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Allie Peters. Several leaders in Portage County signing a statement condemning racism. News 9's Sarah McGrew is live with a closer look at what exactly that statement says. Sarah.
Yeah, Allie, 11 leaders signing that joint declaration on racism and marginalized communities in central Wisconsin, hoping to send a clear message. The statement says they condemn all forms of racism, hate, bigotry, and intimidation. One of the reasons for issuing the statement is to promote further dialogue and action in order to improve relationships in the community. Portage County Executive Chris Holman says their actions do not end with this statement.
Let's come together and kind of show everybody that, we're all on the same page with this and we're all committed to having the conversations and doing the work.
And just yesterday, the Portage County Board of Supervisors unanimously passed a resolution creating a Diversity Affairs and Inclusiveness Committee. The county executive is encouraging community members and other communities within central Wisconsin to sign on to the declaration. Allie, back to you.
Thank you, Sarah. The former Atlanta police officer who shot and killed Rayshard Brooks is now facing felony murder charges. Garrett Rolfe shot Brooks in the back as he was fleeing a Wendy's parking lot over the weekend. The scuffle started when Rolfe and Officer Devin Brosnan tried to arrest Brooks for a DUI when he was found asleep in his car at the restaurant. Brooks took one of the officer's tasers and aimed it in Rolfe's direction as he tried to run away. Rolfe then shot him. Brosnan, the other officer, faces an aggravated assault charge. Back in Wisconsin, the Department of Justice announced a tool you can use to report civil rights violations. The Civil Rights Reporting Portal is on the Department of Justice's website and is meant to help victims of civil rights violations report it more easily. When appropriate, the department will reach back out to them to help with their case. For the first time in Wisconsin's history, the Juneteenth flag will fly over the state capitol building. Governor Evers says the flag will be raised Friday morning. June 19th commemorates the end of slavery in America when all states were informed about the Emancipation Proclamation. Alumni at Columbus Catholic Schools in Marshfield are calling for the school to change its name. They say they don't want the school named after Christopher Columbus, who is known for enslaving and murdering thousands of indigenous people. They also want a statue of Columbus removed from the front of the school. The school's president says the school's name has a long history and changing it won't be easy.
We have to consider the difficulties involved, both in terms of our relationship with nearly 70 years of graduates, and then the difficulties in trying to totally rebrand.
News 9 reached out to the petitioners but did not yet hear back. President Eaton says he plans to meet with them to discuss their demands soon. Congressman Tiffany is proposing a bill that would block school funding for schools that don't open by September 8th for in-person classes. Tiffany just recently took over for the 7th Congressional District, and this is his first bill. Most schools across the country have stopped in-person classes this spring because of COVID-19. Tiffany says it's important kids get back into the classroom.
We saw them lose nearly a semester's worth of learning here with many kids home, some of them without good broadband connections. Educational attainment really declined here in 2020.
Tricia Zunker is challenging Tiffany for the 7th Congressional District again in the fall. She calls Tiffany's proposed bill unacceptable.
No matter where you stand on pandemic measures, our children and our teachers should not be held hostage.
Zunker says Congressman Tiffany should be focusing on how to make homeschooling better. Tiffany says he welcomes public input regarding this bill. Right now, it is just a proposal and still has to go through the congressional process. The University of Wisconsin-Madison is reopening for in-person classes in the fall. Today, school officials met to discuss the university's Smart Restart plan. Classes will begin on September 2nd, offering in-person instruction in many courses. During that time, everyone is required to wear a face covering in indoor public places and outside when distancing is not possible.
If you are not willing to wear a mask when you come to class, there will be a whole variety of non-in-person classes that you could participate in instead.
Physical distancing will also be enforced in classrooms. Classes of fewer than 50 people will be held in larger classrooms, and classes with more than 100 people will be held virtually. Well, Mike, we had another beautiful hot day out there today.
It was warm again. Humidity levels just a little bit higher than yesterday, but plenty of sunshine, a little bit of breezy south winds. Very summer-like weather here as we're closing in on the end of the spring season. Well, we begin with a live view this evening. We'll travel to Rhinelander. Our new Rhinelander camera shows beautifully clear skies out there. Still a little bit of a glow on the horizon. The sun set just a while ago, but skies are mainly clear throughout the area in the state. Current temperature reading in Rhinelander is 73 degrees, generally in the low 70s in the area. Cool spots, if we want to call it that, 67 right now in Antigo, 69 in Medford. In Wausau, we're at 73 degrees. Current temperature reading, humidity is a little bit higher at 57%, wind south-southeast at around 5 miles per hour. Quiet weather conditions on the way again tonight. A little bit warmer than last night, low in Wausau at 57. Southeast to south winds will stay light. One more rather warm and somewhat humid day tomorrow. Then we'll have some chances of showers and storms the next few days. I'll have the forecast update in a few minutes.
Thank you, Mike. Tonight, Portage County health officials gave an update on a recent COVID-19 outbreak. Right now, Portage County is reporting 82 confirmed cases of coronavirus. Less than 14 days ago, that number was half the current total. And last week, Portage County hosted its second round of free drive-through COVID-19 testing. The complete results of those tests have not yet been released.
We continue to have no hospitalizations, and I know that people focus on all kinds of different areas in how they look at the data, but that is an important data point.
Out of the 82 confirmed positive cases in the county, 43 people have recovered, and there have been more than 3,900 negative cases in the county so far. Other new confirmed cases of the virus in the Badger State include Clark County, which is reporting 53 people who have now tested positive. The total in Lincoln County has grown to 8. And in Marathon County, there are now 88. Wapaka County's total is 82. Wood County is reporting 26, and Langland County 7. The new cases brings the statewide total to almost 23,500. Of those, 75% of people have recovered, while 712 have died. Hundreds are losing their jobs as Verso closes mills in Wisconsin Rapids and Duluth, Minnesota. Now we're learning thousands more will be impacted. News 9's Tom Lally has the story.
Mark Flink spent the morning working on his machines, preparing them for another day.
I've weathered a lot of storms, you know. This is a challenging industry. It always has been.
Mark would know. He's been at this for 43 years, though the past 5 have been the most challenging.
Things change on a daily basis.
The latest change, Verso, idling its mill in Wisconsin Rapids, taking away one of Mark's biggest buyers. Right now, he has 2 fields filled with dead weight.
Hundreds of tons, lots of wood.
And thousands of people, just like Mark, trying to figure out what's next.
And a lot of the folks that we talked to, even before the announcement that Verso was closing, we're down about 50% compared to last year's business.
Great Lakes timber professionals, lobbies, federal decision makers on forest industry issues, and now they're asked for relief.
This is the first time that we have ever asked anybody for financial help.
For every person like Mark, there's debt, new machines, employees, and less work to be done.
Right now, it's going to be a matter of survival. Can we get some funding so the guys can make their payments and meet their expenses until we get a better picture of what markets are going to be available?
In the meantime, loggers and even Verso are victims of a suffering economy.
I mean, Verso's not the enemy.